Ever since its inception in the 1950s, Formula One has come a long way in terms of its scale, the development of the cars, but more importantly, the revenue that the sport generates each and every year. Similarly, F1 drivers over the years have seen a monumental rise in their salaries, making them some of the biggest earners in the world of sports. While only 2 drivers made it into Forbes' top 50 highest paid athletes last year, F1 drivers are still among the highest paid racers compared to any other racing series such as IndyCar or MotoGP. With a new season right around the corner, let's jump right in and take a look at how much money F1 drivers will possibly make in 2022. Alex Albon. Making his return to Formula One once again, the ex-Red Bull driver has signed on to drive for the Williams team for the year 2022. Despite his absence from F1 in 2021, Albon played a significant role in developing and testing Red Bull's cars. Thus, considering his previous experience in an F1 car, Williams decided to bring in the Thai driver for a salary of $2 million, while the option to drive for Red Bull in the future still remains open. Carlos Sainz Jr. Currently driving for Scuderia Ferrari, Sainz put up a brilliant performance in the last season, finishing 5th in the driver's standings ahead of his teammate. The 27-year-old driver joined Ferrari on a 2-year deal, earning $10 million in base pay alone, aside from other winning incentives, and is now rumoured to be in talks with the team for an extension till 2024. Charles Leclerc. Having been with Ferrari since 2019, Leclerc has time and again proven himself as one of the most talented drivers on track. His ability to win races and secure pole positions is exactly why the team in red offered the former F2 champion a 5-year deal, which is arguably the longest contract in F1 history. Charles is said to be making $12 million annually, plus a few bonuses. Daniel Ricciardo. Although he is one of the more experienced drivers on the grid, Ricciardo took a massive pay cut while making the move from Renault to McLaren due to the pandemic and other factors. His decision though has paid off quite well in the form of his 8th Grand Prix win at the 2021 Italian Grand Prix. Ricciardo's current salary is estimated to be around $15 million per year, excluding additional incentives and revenue from his major sponsors. Esteban Ocon. The Frenchman enjoyed his best year yet in Formula One, winning his first ever Grand Prix, as well as signing a 3-year contract with Alpine, which will allow him to compete for more wins till the end of 2024 season. Ocon, who replaced Nico Hülkenberg back in 2020, is reported to draw in a salary of $5 million per annum, alongside a few $1 million from his various endorsements. Fernando Alonso. The 2-time world champion made an impressive return to Formula One in 2021 after a 2-year hiatus by not just helping Alpine win their first Grand Prix as a team, but by also scoring a podium finish after almost 7 years. Given his wide range of abilities, even at the age of 40, the French outfit are said to be paying Alonso nearly $20 million in yearly fees. George Russell. Moving from Williams to Mercedes, the young Briton now finally stands a chance at competing for the title. Russell has consistently put up spectacular qualifying runs while driving the much slower Williams car, clawing his way into Q3 for most races in this season. His promotion to the Mercedes seat also means that Russell will see a noticeable bump in his income from $1 million to $5 million per year. Jianyujo. The only driver to make his F1 debut this year, Jianyujo is all set to make history as the first Chinese driver to participate in a Grand Prix. The rookie driver, however, will have a tough road ahead of him coming from Formula 2, given how fierce the rest of his competitors are on track. Joe's first stint as an Alfa Romeo driver will net him approximately $1 million a year. Lance Stroll. The 23-year-old driver made his Formula One debut in 2017 for Williams and later moved to Racing Point, now known as Aston Martin, a team partly owned by his father Lawrence Stroll. Despite having an average season overall, Stroll is estimated to rake in a salary of $10 million and will continue driving for Aston Martin for a long time. Lando Norris. Finishing 6th in the standings, Norris drove some sensational races in 2021 and bagged 4 podium finishes, but lost out on the opportunity to claim his first race win. The McLaren driver outclassed his teammate on numerous occasions last season and is thus expected to be with the team for 2022 and beyond. Norris is on a salary of $5 million, aside from other earnings, especially from his esports venture, Quadrant. Lewis Hamilton. While his future still remains unclear, given the controversial season finale, the 7-time world champion will most likely return in 2022. Hamilton's continued success in the sport has seen him become the highest paid F1 driver for years now. The 37-year-old Mercedes driver makes a whopping $40 million in just salary alone, amongst his other sponsorships and collaborations. Max Verstappen, the reigning world champion, faces an all-important challenge of defending his title this year from the likes of the Mercedes, Ferrari and McLaren drivers. The Dutch lad has amassed a solid fortune since his debut and presently draws in an annual check of roughly $25 million from Red Bull, as well as some additional bonuses from the team and his sponsors alike. Mick Schumacher. Son of F1 legend Michael Schumacher, Mick has followed in his father's footsteps and is a driver for the Haas F1 team. Despite the weaknesses in the Haas car, Schumacher managed to put in a few respectable race executions and looks ready to drive for Ferrari in the future. At this stage though, Schumacher is believed to make approximately $1 million per year, besides other financing from his promoters. Nicholas Latifi. The Canadian driver had a much better year compared to his previous seasons, earning his first ever championship points in 2021. Latifi's 2022 seat came as no surprise to many, and this is particularly due to the strong backing that he brings in terms of sponsorship. Williams have signed Latifi till the end of the season for an annual fee of $1 million. Nikita Mazepin. Now in his second year as an F1 driver, Nikita Mazepin will continue to drive for Haas, which is primarily sponsored by his father's company Uralkali. The young Russian has shown some promise given the weak machinery and may soon start to challenge his teammate in the standings. Similar to Schumacher, Mazepin will also bag nearly $1 million in salary for his services this season. Pierre Gasly. A consistent performer throughout the season, Pierre Gasly made some substantial improvements in his overall form while fighting against the other midfield teams on the track. His renewed passion and commitment are a good sign for Gasly, who's hoping to regain his position in Red Bull once again. On par with his peers, Pierre is set to be offered a salary of $5 million by AlphaTauri with additional pay from his sponsors. Sebastian Vettel. Former 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel decided to change sides from Ferrari to Aston Martin back in 2020. Although last season may not have gone as intended, the veteran driver managed to secure a second-place finish at Baku and another podium that was later revoked. Taking a massive hit to his earnings, Vettel's current salary is pegged to be around $15 million per year compared to the $40 million while he was at Ferrari. Sergio Perez. Dubbed as the Mexican Minister of Defense by his fans, Perez has shown his critics why he deserves the second Red Bull seat. Satisfied with what he has delivered through the season, Red Bull are more than happy to keep Perez for a longer duration. Up from his last year's salary, the Mexican driver is rumored to be making $8 million in base pay, with plenty of bonuses to be paid based on his 2022 performance. Valtteri Bottas. Following the retirement of Kimi Raikkonen, Bottas, who was the first choice, will now take over the role of first driver for the Alfa Romeo racing team. After spending 5 years with Mercedes, the Flying Finn is now set to be with the Swiss outfit on a multi-year deal with a yearly fee of $10 million. While at his new team, Bottas is expected to lead the team and improve the team's overall standings in both championships from here on. Yuki Sonoda. AlphaTauri's 2020 recruit and a graduate of the Red Bull Junior team, Sonoda has done quite well as a rookie in his debut season. Winning the FIA Rookie of the Year award in 2020, Sonoda was put to test against his teammate Gasly, managing to finish 14th in the Drivers' Championship. The young stalwart is backed by Honda and received $750,000 as the second driver at AlphaTauri. There is of course scope for each of the 20 drivers to make significantly more money on the basis of bonuses that are paid out for achieving podium finishes and race wins. Drivers also take on multiple brand sponsorships, which makes their total wealth well beyond the salaries quoted above. And so, that's our breakdown on how much money the 2022 F1 drivers will make this year. So, which driver's salary surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, like, share and subscribe to Pitstop.